Today is April 5th. What a weekend in Pittsburgh. Home opener. Konnor Griffin debut. Vibes are high. Cones are high. Wild times. You're listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Yins, guys. Thank you for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast, where we talk all about them Pittsburgh Pirates and that. My name is Josh. His name is Jake. What's up, Jake?
What's up, man? Best I can do.
For the audio listeners, Jake drew a cone on a notebook and hoisted that.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, man.
You have to use the resources available to you.
Yeah. I was outside of a Dairy Queen last night, and my wife told me no, I wasn't allowed putting the cone in my truck. Probably a good thing. I don't need to be out there stealing anything, so.
That's right. That's right. We do not condone stealing.
Nope.
Here at Bridge to Buctober. Look at the chat. We got a lot of guys in here. We got a lot of folks in here, I should say. And let me catch up here. Holy moly. We've got a lot going on here. Doug, Greg, Hamilton, Babe. Oh, Hamilton, the Babe Porter. I like that. So we'll just call him Ham. Cheryl, Seth, OG, Bucko, Mike. Sorry, Miles. Saw Miles, got to meet Miles this weekend. What's up, Miles? Brock, let's go. Hey, it's Easter evening. Happy Easter, Jake.
Yeah, happy Easter, man.
I guess I should say real quick that the Bridge to Buctober podcast tonight is brought to you by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He's risen.
Yes. Tomb is empty.
So now we'll talk baseball. But absolutely. It's Easter and we still have a big group of Pirates fans who are very excited about this team. A sweep.
Yeah, early season sweep.
I said that with the expectation of you responding and realized as soon as I said it, you were ready to take a drink. That's on me, man. That's on me.
Right. That's all right. Get the brooms out early. It's spring cleaning. Let's get her done.
Listen, Jake, what is it? June was our first sweep last year.
Something like that, yeah.
So here we are in very early in April, and it seemed like opening day, everybody thought that this team was the same team.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the vibes were fine. They weren't crazy high yet. I think the cone coming in Cincinnati was huge. With as far as vibes go, I think people were starting to come around, but for the most part, yeah. I mean, you were sitting there looking at a team that was 3-3, and not a whole lot of things looking different. You had some shaky defense plays. You had some runners in scoring position woes a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, similar problems, right?
Yeah. The thing is, man, you can't overreact when opening day comes up like that. And you had day one and day two where you felt like, oh, now we didn't score any runs or whatever. And you get into it. But like baseball is about attrition. It's about getting through the whole season and all that stuff. Like just like wait, enjoy the fact that you get to watch baseball, see how things unfold, look around the league and look at what's going on with some of these teams. And then all you have to we didn't have to wait long. Right? I mean,
yeah.
You lost 2 and then you salvaged 1 on the road and you didn't get swept. And like most of the time on the road to a team like the Mets, like if I just told you, Jake, that the Pirates went into New York and they just couldn't win the series and they dropped 2 of 3. I think you'd have been like, okay, what next? Well, then still on the road against a division opponent, they went and won a series. You would basically say, I like that. That's a good start. That's an ideal start to the season. It's not like a hot start. It's not a bad start. That's an ideal start. You had a 6-game road trip. You went 3-3. You know you're a better team at home. This team was last year. They could be again this year, I imagine. So, like, what do you see, right? Mm-hmm. And I got to, we're going to get into the Konnor Griffin debut. We're doing a real high flyover right now. We're going to get into the debut. We're going to get into starting pitching because that's obviously what we knew was a strength and what has come up to be. And we have some other things to get into here, but just to, out of the gate, talk about this. And you look at certain stories, right? Like I said, we assume the starting pitching would be a strength. It's proven to be a strength right now. We assume that this bench was deeper, and I think we'll go more into depth on the bench here in a little bit too. And we've seen that it's deeper. And we assume that Oneil Cruz is going to be a highly controversial, polar opposites, love him, hate him, hardly anybody's in the middle. Yeah. And you look at this, and we talked about defense. Doug Smith's out here, Cruz versus lefties. What is going on? 7 hits already this season. 3 of them are home runs. Listen, and I'm going to say this, and I am defending Cruz. And I was going to say, it's going to sound like I'm defending him, but no, I am. Because this guy continually puts in the work and doesn't get credit for it. This guy's not even trying to be a good center fielder. And it's all defense, right? But then he strikes out all the time. So does half the league, okay? So, let's get over the strikeout thing. Like, if you don't like strikeouts, you're going to have to figure something out with the way you watch baseball because they all strike out.
Yeah.
And so that's just the way it goes. But anyway, he hires a lefty to live with him and throw BP to him every single day. And look how it's paid off. He's put in the same amount of work on defense, and it hasn't paid off quite yet. He's not a good center fielder yet, but it's the same thing. Like, you have to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to be. Because of what this guy can do at the plate, and because you've seen the work that he puts in start to pay off in different times. And I'm going to tell you this, the lefties that he's hitting right now, the league's going to figure out what he's doing.
Sure.
And they're going to punch back, and he's going to have to punch back.
I'll be honest, I don't know how you change trying to bust a guy like that with his size, trying to bust him inside, and he takes you 409 to dead center. I don't know how you adjust to that. I don't know.
Yeah, but they have sequences and they have ways that they're going to look at this guy and they're going to figure out what they can do. They're always on.
That was a crazy swing.
It was a crazy swing.
Crazy.
I'll go back to another one just while we're staying on Cruz because I don't really think that he's a main point in any of our topics here today. But like the one game we were at this weekend, I made it to the home opener, and so I was there Friday and Saturday. And he had an at bat where he got down 2 strikes, and I think it was in the home. Yeah, it was in the home opener. He got down 2 strikes, and he's done this now 2 or 3 times this season already, where you've seen a different swing with 2 strikes. And in this one in particular, there was a hole on the left side, and he fought off a pitch and just bounced it through the left side for an RBI single.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of at bat is the kind of stuff that, like, if you start seeing that from Cruz, this guy's going to be even more dangerous.
Yeah.
And we got an opportunity to see that this weekend, very early in the season. We got an opportunity to see some of these things paying off for him. I mean, the defense still needs to pay off. The opening day is going to take a month to recover from. And I know everybody's going to say, well, he's messed up 3 or 4 times since then. I don't really think he has. And I would argue that, and I think that would be a good conversation. Obviously, I've got people still talking about the one that was Reynolds in left center. That was on Reynolds, not on Cruz. The
Yeah.
one at the home opener where him and O'Hearn almost ran into each other. You'd like O'Hearn to catch that ball for the same reason you'd like Cruz to catch the other one. He's moving towards the play. Instead of Cruz catching it and having a 360 throw to third, even though that arm's still probably going to get there before O'Hearn's, it makes more sense for O'Hearn, who's moving towards third, to catch that ball, and he was camping. So I don't know if there's something you can say.
Key for me.
I don't know if there's something you can say to him like, I'm camping, I have this one. If you're both running after it, I know I have a sense that they've told Cruz, because he's pulled up early on. Last year, we saw him pull up a lot instead of going after the ball. I think they've told Cruz, like, call it and go catch it. You know what I mean? And now, like, the next step is you got to know if he's camping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A center fielder who's been playing center field for a long time is looking at the ball and can look at the player or the wall and look back at the ball. Somebody who's not just tracks the ball the whole way.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't really know. He's not a good center fielder.
It's easy to lose.
He's not a good center fielder yet. Will he ever be? Yeah, I think so. I think there will still be mistakes, but I think plays like the diving play he almost made today, if he gets better reads and he's able to make that play, then it's all going to even out. It's just not there yet. And it's like he worked this offseason. He worked with Kevin Kiermaier. If you thought that was going to pay off in the very first game when he barely played outfield in spring training because he spent all that time with the WBC just riding the pine, like if you think it's going to be there right away, it's just not realistic.
Yeah.
And I want it to be, and I'm frustrated when it's not, Jake. I'm not saying that everything's fine. I'm frustrated too. We've got to figure out a way to get Mangum in there in the 8th and 9th inning or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to figure out a way to get defense out there late in the game so he doesn't cost you the game.
Yeah. And a close one. I mean, it's not a close game. I don't really care.
No. If it's not a close game, he needs the reps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good call.
But yeah, I mean, I saw it like the line drive. I think it was Alonso hit in the gap today. I thought it was a great time for him to take a chance and try to make a diving play. You're not that far from the fence. He missed it. He didn't have far to go to pick it up. It was a double. The run was going to score either way.
Right.
With the guy on third. So take your chance. And you know what? My favorite part of that play is he dove. He didn't catch it. He popped right up and sprinted back and got the ball. I've seen Cruz sometimes just like, someone else will get it. Not right now. He popped right back up and took off running and went, picked it up and got it in. So kudos to him on that too.
Yeah. So let's talk Konnor Griffin debut, home opener, absolutely electric atmosphere. I will say one of the most bizarre things about the whole spectacle, the Konnor Griffin deal. I've equally never heard a stadium that quiet and that loud.
That was weird.
Like everything, like riding on what's going to happen on this pitch. You could have snapped your fingers and somebody in the section next to you would have heard it. It was unreal. I've never seen anything like that. And I'll say, because usually there's about 40% of the stadium that's not watching the game. And so they're just talking. They're having a good time. They're doing whatever. Dude, it was dead silent. At least where I was sitting.
No, it was like that on the broadcast too.
Just dead silent. And it was like everyone here is paying attention to what's going on. And I thought that was fantastic. Like, I'm telling you, there are stadiums that you can go to that are, winners every year. And you know that those people love baseball and know baseball because they go to baseball games because their team gives them a reason to show up all the time. Yeah. Right? I'm going to say it like that. And it's quiet like that sometimes because they get the game. They know what's going on.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy. And then I don't know if maybe that's what made the volume spike go That's a good way to put it, Miles. Injury silence. It's kind of how it felt like when somebody gets hurt and everybody's like, hey, whoa, be quiet. This guy's injured. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was equally the loudest I've ever heard that stadium when he hit that double. Now, I wasn't at the 2013 wild card. I imagine the 2013 wild card was louder than that. But I was at 2 postseason games in the division series that year. And unfortunately, the next 2 wild card games where there wasn't a whole lot to scream about.
Yeah.
But that was the loudest I've ever heard. That was the loudest I've ever heard anything. I'm trying to figure out, like, certainly sporting event, but I'm trying to figure out, like, where was a sound that I heard something like that. I mean, it was another inning later, and I'm like, my ears are still ringing from the volume of that. It was nuts.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy, man.
And it kickstarts a whole rally. The energy level got there. I'm telling you one thing, Jake, like, players will almost always, good players, there we go, will always feed off of that energy that's in the crowd. Like, it's, if we're there and we show up and we're all about it, good things are to come. Almost always. There are obviously times when certain pitchers, so, you know, Paul Skeens has silenced some crowds before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's certainly a lot of pitchers who can come out and, I mean, Arrieta and Bumgarner silenced the crowd in those wild card games. You know what I'm saying? So definitely there. Doug says Cueto game was 20% louder. So that's as I assumed. Thanks for putting that in there, because I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and call that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. The wild card game, I think, was pretty unrivaled as far as a lot of that goes. But this was incredible. And for a 19-year-old prospect who might take him a month or so to really get going.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, instant regret from my end. Made the decision this year to not go home. And, you know, first home opener that I haven't been to in like 13 years. And it's 80 degrees and Konnor Griffin's making his debut. Wild. It'll snow April 18th.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is we decided not to take our kids this year. It's the first one they've ever not been to. And it was like, every year it's so cold and it's all these different things that we're trying to figure out. And then on top of that, it's also the most expensive game of the year. So we just decided to pivot and do something later, and then ended up being a fantastic day. Still expensive, but fantastic. So I'm okay with that. What else you got on Konnor Griffin debut, other than the fact that you weren't there?
So not very many other guys also on our roster get sent on the base hit from Triolo.
Right.
I mean, he come around third. Even if the third base coach wanted to stop him, I don't think he could have. He was scoring on that no matter what. It's just, I mean, electricity, man.
Yeah.
It was great.
And the home opener in general, obviously it was a sellout before they announced the Konnor Griffin debut. Basically all that did was shoot the prices up.
Of the resellers,
Of the resellers. And so, like, obviously you have this scenario where, they just wanted it to be the home opener so they could sell more tickets. Well, they already sold the tickets. If they were going to do that, they would have made the debut on Saturday.
Yeah.
And so, I don't think that that's it. I think that they just wanted to see him get going and get some confidence back. And he hit almost 500 in his time there, so the confidence is back. And you're going to see that he's going to have to. He could have hit the ground running. He could have, right? And obviously the double was big. He walked in that game. He got hit in the next game and whatever. And then he took another walk today when he was down 0-2. Like there's still a lot of things that you're seeing. Like rookies typically chase in some of those scenarios, and he hasn't been doing that.
And we talked about it before getting on here. He's not batting. He's 333 on base right now,
Yeah.
and he's got 1 hit. So when he does start hitting the ball, that's going to shoot up too, as long as he's, similar approach here, which I think he will, because it's like this kid, you tell him to go do something, figures out how to do something, and in 3 games, he's figured out how to do it. Because how many walks did he have in spring training? Like
2. Yeah.
You need to get walked. He's already got 2 walks already.
Yep.
In 3 games. And a hit by pitch. So like, you figure you give this kid a task and he figures out how to do it. So it's crazy. I'm not really worried about him as far as hitting wise. Playing a good shortstop.
Yeah.
Real nice play today. Almost made a second nice play. We hadn't even turned a double play till his debut.
Yeah, I don't.
And that's not on him. Like, that's not a him thing. I don't feel like
the
but still,
opportunities
like,
must not have been there. I mean, there was the line drive in Cincinnati that Brandon Lau caught and doubled off the guy at first. So it's not like there hasn't been a double play, but there just hasn't, like, I think the shortstop position hasn't turned a double play or a typical ground ball double play or something like that. Hasn't happened yet. I thought that was an interesting thing that they said, and I'm like, well, I mean, Brandon Lau turned a double play just the other day, like on that line drive when the guy was stealing. So like, they didn't really clarify what they were talking about. So
yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, the defense is there. The moment doesn't look too big for this kid. I think that he'll be fine. I did see one here. Miles, I disagree with this. He says, let's hope he gets his first homer at PNC Way. That's 2 weeks away from now. I'd like to see it before then.
Yeah.
So
I won't be mad if it's not there. I just want him to hit a home run.
Okay. Hit a home run. Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen a homer. We haven't seen a steal yet. I think those things are coming, obviously, but I think that having him in the lineup for what he can do and what he'll do, even if it's not consistently, right? For what he can do, I think that's probably one of the big things that we're trying to figure out, that we're waiting for. I mean, and I guess the other thing we're waiting for, right, is them to announce this deal that we talked about on the show that was leaked and everybody knows. I know they're waiting. I imagine maybe tomorrow morning something comes out that they've come to an agreement or something like that. They're waiting now to make it not look obvious.
They may wait till after the Padres series. We got the day off before we go to Chicago.
Yeah, it could be. They could just be saying waiting for that. That could be it. I don't know though. I think you do it if it's inevitable, Jake. If they've basically already had an agreement.
Yeah, I mean,
then you do it before a home game.
Yeah.
That way it can be part of the excitement and just another thing. So then again, maybe they do it and wait for I mean, I don't think it's going to be totally PR. They just want to get it done. And now they can, because now he's already had his debut and all that stuff. And they'll change the number from what was leaked. Right? If 140 was leaked, he'll sign for 141 or 139 and say like, well, that guy didn't know all the details that we were working on, but it's whatever. That'd be funny though. It's 141 be like, that wasn't our deal. We didn't have that done yet. I don't know what that guy was talking about. Not that they could do anything about it. The rules are rules.
Yeah.
It's exciting to have a guy playing shortstop every day that we figure can be just a solid presence in the lineup all the time. And as some have said, Billy Cook back on the team because Triolo's on the IL, and Sherrington did say weeks, not days.
Yeah.
He didn't say, but I guess he also said he'll still play the lion's share of the season. So it's also not like a tear and he's going to be out till next year. It's a right patellar tendon injury. So whatever. I mean, that could be, if it's a tear, he's out for a year. But apparently it's not that. So weeks. And that's all it is. Rest. It'll heal itself. That's how those things work. That's probably what I expect to see. But that is kind of impactful though, because right now, I mean, it's Nick Gonzalez. That's your other shortstop.
Yeah.
So, not that that's not manageable. You can certainly handle that, but it would be nice to have Triolo there for days off for Konnor. If he ends up striking out 4 times and then, being frustrated, you want to sit him for a game.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You want to say, like, let's take the day, man. Get your work in, get your confidence back. Let's, you know what I mean? Let's go from there.
Yeah. I'd say for most people, I don't really know how Konnor Griffin is. I mean, he might be one of those people that be like, take me out after I've had a good game. Don't sit me when I've had a bad game because I want to get back at it.
Well, that's an interesting thought, because usually I'm like, man, you just had a good game. I want you playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're scheduled a day off, I'd rather take the day off and be feeling good about everything that I'm doing rather than having a bad game and then not being able to get back at it the next day.
Oh, that's interesting.
Now, if it's like a whole, hey, you're having a stretch of rough things, and it's not like I'm giving you tomorrow off, being like, hey, we're going to take a couple days, get some good cage work in for a few days, and then you're going to be right back in there. I just want you to clear. For me, a mindset clear is more than a day off.
Okay. Interesting. I hadn't thought about it that way. I think I would want to lower the stress level when it gets stressful. If I'm pressing, a day off is great.
I think it's also goes by individual player, right?
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
And I just feel like Griffin would be more of the type like, no, that wasn't good enough. I need to get back at it tomorrow. I mean, that's what we say. The best thing about baseball is you get to play tomorrow.
Yeah, but when the stress levels are going and it's not that, it's more like, crap, I have to try this again today. That's what I'm talking about. That was literally what I was talking about when I said give him a day off when it gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
So if it never gets overwhelming, then it never gets overwhelming. Then it's just physical rest days. But yeah, man, what a weekend, dude. Starting pitching has been as advertised coming into this. We haven't given up a home run yet in the starting rotation, and I know that's all over the internet, so I don't feel bad like jinxing it. But a 9-game stretch without giving up a home run is, what are the numbers on that? We just saw it not before we went on here. That's the Konnor one. Here we go. 1943, the Pirates went 17 games, but that's, that seems crazy. That would be amazing if they can get to that point. But in 2018, the Giants went 10 games. So to be continued, if they don't give up a home run tomorrow, then we'll probably hear the next one. I was unable to look this stat up. The tools that I have available to me aren't capable of looking this one up. So I was very frustrated earlier today trying to figure that out when I can't. But 9 games without giving up a home run for the starting pitchers, pretty cool.
Yeah, especially in today's game.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously no other teams are on this stretch right now. So, dude, this starting rotation is so good. It has the credit of being so good, and I still think that it's underrated because I just don't think that if you're in baseball, then you know. But like fans don't know what Braxton Ashcraft is about. And this guy's about domination.
Yeah.
He's got some of the best stuff on this team. And we talk about a team who has Paul Skeens and Bubba Chandler on it who get all the credit for being that. And my goodness, is he not right there with them or close, or you know what I'm saying?
That sinker / changeup that he has is so good. So good.
And it's like, dude, you're throwing a slider that moves like 17 feet and you throw it at 93 miles an hour. And then you drop a curveball in like the mid to low 80s. And it's like, what are we even doing here? And you got 97 at the top of the zone. Like, how do you even hit that? You could tell me that slider's coming and throw me 100 of them. I wouldn't be able to hit any of them.
Then the sinker is about 90 to 91.
It's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. So good, man. And he's fun to watch because he will attack hitters a little bit differently. Like he's not out there with I'm gonna pitch everybody like this is how I pitch guys. This is how I'm gonna do it. No, he's gonna be like, I'm gonna pitch you this way this time, and you're gonna expect a similar thing next time, but I'm not gonna do that. He's out there playing chess, and some of them hitters are playing checkers.
and the interesting thing is I think when you have that kind of stuff, sometimes you don't even have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mitch Keller's got to be doing that.
He's looked good too this year.
He's looked pretty good too. Too many walks, and as we saw today, the numbers today though with the walks, I mean, the Pirates had 14 strikeouts today between Ashcraft, Montgomery, and Urquidy. Urquidy, who added 3 strikeouts himself, Jake.
Yeah.
14 strikeouts to 0 walks, which means we have our first outing of Mason Montgomery without a walk.
I love to see it.
He gave up 3 hits, but no walks. Now, you have a big lead. Obviously, you cannot walk someone with a big lead, and he didn't do that, but he was going to challenge you and make you hit it. And you know, because he wasn't being as cute, he gave up some hits. But that's kind of where you're at. Like, yeah, but I want to do that. I want to do that because I have a lead and I'm not giving you anything for free.
Yeah.
Jim, Mason, Cy Young, Montgomery. I am nervous when he's there. The stuff is off the charts. I am nervous about the walks. So I think that's a.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a little bit. I think it's going to get better throughout the year. I think the new pitching coach is going to do him good. I like him being in the majors right now because he can work hand in hand with him and get better at some of that kind of stuff because his stuff is just so good. It's so point. Nasty. And I just want to see him hone in his control and be the pitcher that he can be.
Yeah. Oh, he's absolutely nerve-wracking. Yeah, that's totally it. I'm nitpicking, as Cheryl says. Sure. Such a fun time to be a Pirate fan. That's definitely true. But Martin makes a good point too that you and I were talking about. Like the Mets, the Reds, and the Orioles all have postseason aspirations. Like these teams are. I remember when we were sitting there at opening day and they're calling off the roster of the Orioles who aren't starters. And I'm like, well, that guy's awesome. That guy's awesome. Or at least, you know what I mean? I'm a positive player. So when guys are awesome at something, then they're awesome. Tyler O'Neill to me is awesome. Like he's a great defender. He's hurt too much, but he's got massive power. You know what I'm saying? He's a good player. Not in the lineup. You know what I mean? And you keep looking down through and you're seeing all these guys and it's like Dylan Beaver's not in the lineup. And I'm like, that dude's for real, man. And then, the next day it's the same thing and then the same thing. And they have depth and there's guys that I'm like, that's a dude. And the Pirates rolled through him. I mean, this pitching staff was able to handle it all. Pitched very well against Pete Alonso in this. A lot of strikeouts. By the way, undefeated. Peter, I did it 3 times. He struck out all 3 times. I don't know why. I think you have to pick and choose. If you do it every time, it's going to stop working.
Right.
But I got the strikeouts. I tried it at home today. It didn't work. He didn't hear me. Doesn't work like that. But at the stadium, it works, man.
I'm here for it, dude. I'm here for it.
We have to do our part.
Yeah.
Like anytime you throw a pickoff move at PNC Park, it's ridiculous. But they boo the crap out of you.
Yeah.
And, it probably doesn't bother most pitchers. But the one it does, it was worth it.
Yeah, for sure. You never know when the next Cueto moment's going to happen.
Yeah. Greg says Ashcraft is a legitimate 3-4 starter. 2-3.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to call ace yet. It's very early, but
right.
He could be some team's number 1. Like I said, there's a difference between being number 1 and being an ace.
Yeah.
So I think there's some of that too, but I don't know, man. I think this team is really good. I'm kind of there right now. Now they're hot. Maybe are they hot or?
I don't. Are you specifically saying the pitching staff or the team?
I'm kind of pivoting to the team, and maybe I'm just a little transparent here. Maybe I'm teeing you up to talk a little bit about depth.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was.
Okay,
gonna say.
good.
I don't think this team is hot right now. I think we're playing good baseball, but I don't think as a unit, I don't think this team is hot right now. I think they're going to be scary when they're hot because you got a few guys in the lineup that are hot. You got a few guys in the lineup that are cold, and you got a few guys in the lineup that are just they're playing their game and they're good, but they're not hot. Like Brian Reynolds is not on any stretch of the imagination hot right now. He's hit a couple homers.
Yeah.
He's gotten a couple games where it's been frustrating to watch. He's had a couple games where it's been great to watch. He's just playing baseball. He's just where he is, and that's fine.
Yeah, I think
because he's got Lau and O'Hearn around him who are hot.
Yeah, all in all, 310 on base right now.
Yeah,
for Reynolds. So I mean, that's not going to be where he's at. I wouldn't think.
No, but I also wouldn't call him cold. You know what I mean? He's just playing ball. He's there.
Yeah.
You got Cruz he's pretty hot right now, I'd say. Lau's cooling off a little bit right now, but he's still getting hits, still big hits. He's coming through when it matters. You got O'Hearn is hot.
O'Hearn
Nicky
is hot.
G.
Yeah, I think O'Hearn is hot for sure. His home run today was number 3. We've been talking about if he hits 20 home runs, it's a career high.
Yeah.
And he's 3 in the first, 9 games of the year. Like that pace is not going to remain. O'Hearn is hot, I think. And so, and I think that's good. Like you need a guy like this that's going to heat up now so that when Reynolds does get hot, then, you know what I mean? It's either worry that much better or like, I guess it's better to say like when O'Hearn cools down, someone else will need to step in.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got Horwitz is kind of cold right now. He's struggling. Ozuna couldn't be any more cold. And the rest of the guys are they're playing their game and they're just fine. But if the whole lineup starts getting hot, if 5 guys start getting hot at one time, it's going to be pretty scary, man.
That's when you can go in and sweep a series like this. And I feel like the home weekend, the home opening weekend, I think there was a lot of energy that was there. And right now I feel like the vibes are high and I think they're hot in that way. What we saw this weekend was a lot of timely hitting, a lot of like clutch moments, but there was also moments where it's like, Saturday they're 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position, but they got some big moments and big plays. And, the home opener, it was the 1 inning of 4 runs that really carried the victory there until, the other part. So like, it's, you're looking at that sort of thing. That's not hot. That's clutch. That's big moments. That's stepping up. That's putting a crooked number up and then pitching staff taking care of the rest of it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good team coming up when it matters.
Yeah. That's how you are a good team.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be, it feels like it is. 8 runs, what I'm saying? Like you're putting up, obviously O'Hearn drove in 4 of those today, Cruz 3 of them. So you got 2 guys right now that carried in that game. And it could be a different 2 guys tomorrow, but you had the 3-2 game on Saturday that was tight all the way and really kind of gifted the tying run in order to set everything up for that. And then the ability to just bounce right back in, get hot, step up, and bring that run across in the bottom. Like, I don't think it's hot. The starting pitching has been, we just talked about starting pitching, like Braxton Ashcraft ERA, the starting pitchers haven't given up a run or a home run yet this season and all that stuff. But like at the same time, there's been too many walks. This isn't the best they can do.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, when you look at it, I don't think that this team is on a heater right now. And yet we're staring at 5 straight wins. And in order to get like a long winning streak, like a 10 or 11 games, they're probably going to have to get hot. And this is how you do it, right? Because it doesn't sustain for very long, but you can set yourself up for a longer winning streak. If you can do something like that and you've got a home series against the Padres, you know, they're a little struggling now. They've got some good pitchers going this week. So, you know, we'll see, but at least a couple of them. And then it's the Cubs on the weekend. And like the Cubs are down right now. You want to face them while they're down. And, you know, you hope they don't start a fire this week.
Yeah. You know, I was listening to O'Hearn's post game with Hannah today. And my favorite thing, like you said, home opener vibes are high. The crowd comes in and he's like, we need you guys here. He said, I know it's chilly today, but this stadium's been rocking when people are here. So we need that. And, you know, he at 32 years old, he feels like he's in a really good spot offensively. He says, I really feel like I'm in a good, I'll never not continue to try to get better, but I feel good where I'm at right now. And that's somebody who's hot like that. I love hearing him say that. I'm never going to not try to get better because even though he's hot, he's still back in the cage working on something, trying to get even better. And that's exactly the type of players we need. The mentality we need across the board. What a great addition he's been. And I was a little skeptical on it, to be honest. So 3 home runs early, and we're thinking 20 would be his career high, but I have full confidence that he's going to get there.
It's early to say that. I like the confidence, but it is early to say that. And, you know, we'll see how this thing plays out. He's definitely a hitter.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts to warm up. But the thing is like we talked about it, about the depth and Mangum coming in on Saturday, hustling down the line. I don't know how they gave him a base hit on that ball that bounced off the pitcher. That's an error if I've ever seen one. And we've been critical. I think last year, I don't know if it was the year before that, but I know last year I was very critical about they just don't mark errors as much anymore. Like they give a lot of hits out, which is crazy because not a lot of guys are hitting 300 and they're gifting hits everywhere. But the thing is like, yeah, you could say that him busting down the line in peripheral vision of the pitcher probably caused him to drop that ball. But it still caused him to make an error. There's still value in putting the ball in play and forcing them to make a play. And if they make an error, you just like you earned that, but it's still an error.
Right.
And it's fine. Well, you'll take the base hit, you'll take all the things. But I don't know how they gave him a base hit, or I don't know how they gave him a hit on that. But the fact that like the speed was there to force the play and to do that, like what a moment. Earlier in the game, Ozuna, who basically never runs down the line. I mean, he hits a pop-up, he's just jogging. He hits a ground ball to the shortstop. You might see a couple steps. If he fields that thing cleanly, then he just shuts it down. Right? You know what I mean? If he's going to throw it away, he's going to throw it away. We're going to see a first baseman bobble a ball in the dirt and him not running it. We're all going to be super frustrated about it because it's just not there. But you saw him hit a little dribbler down the left field line, and the guy's not fast. He's never really been fast. But he jumped out of that box and ran hard down the line all 90. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a moment when he's like, I have a chance to get on here and I think I can. So if you're going to turn it on when that happens, good. I'd like to see you bust it a little more than that. But as long as you're doing that, I'll sit back and say, like, if Donnie Kelly's not mad at you, then who am I to say anything? I sure would like you to hit better than you are right now. And if you're not, I feel like when you're not hitting is the time I want to see you running hard on every single time you hit it. Yeah. But I also, whatever, it is what it is. He's not old, Jake. He's 35. Everybody, I think, has this perception that he's like 38 years old.
Yeah.
Like he's
he looks like
35. You just talked about O'Hearn just now coming into what he thinks is like the best he's been as a hitter at 32. Some guys are a little late. Now, Ozuna's been around a minute. It's not like he's just now but you're talking just 2 years ago, going back-to-back years of essentially 40 home runs. And then last year dealt with a hip injury and still knocked 21 and still got on base. So like at worst, we're getting 20 home runs and a guy who gets on base. I'll take that every day. We understand that. It's slow. It looks more like Polar Barry White here says, big man nursing a bum hip. Got to pick his spots. I think maybe protecting from a hip injury, but like, I don't want to give him the out. If he was still nursing a bum hip, I don't think they signed the deal. They gave him $10.5 million for this year and an option for next year. So I know everybody likes to say 12. It's not 12 million. It will be because they'll buy that out next year. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to agree to that contract. But Ozuna's slow coming out of the gate. We're talking about 7 games? I don't even think he's played 7 games. I think he's played 6 games so far. Let me look. I want to be right. He has played. He's played 7 games. And he's on a bad stretch getting started.
Yeah.
He's got 1 hit, 2 hits now, because he got that dribbler down the line.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I think like nobody's being patient with him. It's fine. I think subconsciously, and I tweeted about this, I think subconsciously people are mad because he took Kutch's spot on the roster because it's totally irrational to boo a guy after 1 week of baseball. Like it's the most unrational thing I've ever seen. If you would go like a 1 for 25 stretch in the middle of July and you've been hitting, nobody even thinks about it. They just go, oh man, he's scuffling lately. Maybe give him a day off. That would be the extent of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it just wouldn't be a thing. If he already had 12 home runs when he has a 1 for 27, nobody even thinks about it.
Yeah.
The fact that he's starting slow, and I don't think that anybody is going to say, and I know this because I had people in commenting on that who were mad about that. Like this has nothing to do with Kutch. It kind of does. I think it does for some people. I think they're like, well, if he's going to take Kutch's spot, he better show up. Right now, Kutch is hitting well.
Yeah.
I've heard people say, we could have had Kutch in that spot. Look at what he's doing. And maybe Kutch ends with a better season. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. If not, I still don't think that like he's 35. I'm not convinced that's old. I was 35 once. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't feel bad. I felt pretty good at 35. Right? Now, I didn't have the wear and tear of a bunch of seasons of Major League Baseball under my belt, but I just think that he looks like he doesn't have his timing. He's late on the fastball. The swings look ugly. To be fair, his swings look ugly all the time, but his swings right now look specifically ugly. And the timing's not there yet. I would say, like, let's calm down a little bit. And if he's still doing this, if he's not getting on base and he's not hitting for any power, middle of May, let him have it. You can let him have it. I don't care what you do. I don't boo guys. I don't boo guys really for any reason.
Yeah.
Maybe if you get in a fight, I might boo you in the moment for getting in a fight. I'm not going to boo you the next time, but like, I don't boo guys. But like, I'm not telling anybody else what to do. Right? I'm not Rowdy Tellez thing coming out here saying we don't do that. Like, no, they do that. That's what they do. Yeah. Personally, I don't. And, you know, what I don't like, I will say this. What I don't like is booing a guy when they say, next up, Marcell Ozuna. It's been 6 games.
Yeah.
And you're booing him walking up to the plate. I don't know what you expect somebody to do when they're getting booed walking up to the plate. Now, if he strikes out and he looks awful and you want to boo him after that, all about it. And he knows that, right? He said as much. I deserve it. But when he's walking up to the plate, we kind of need him to get a hit here.
Yeah, we need to be trying to back him up. I mean, he's on our team. He's in our lineup. Why not, you know, what they did for Trey Turner a few years ago. Start cheering him on as he's coming up
Yeah,
and see if he can break out of it.
But that's not Ozuna's on a 1-year deal, man. I know it's an option. Nobody picks
care.
it. I'm
he's
not
here for this year.
I know, but like I don't think that he's Turner had earned that too. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a multi-year. They needed him to come through. Like we could technically cut ties with Ozuna and put somebody else in there. We could play Mangum in the outfield every day and feel okay about it, and put O'Hearn at DH. You know what I'm saying? Like well, that it doesn't matter. I'm just saying.
Still, I mean, if he's gonna be in your lineup, try to help him, get a hit. Like, I want everybody in our lineup to do good unless it's Tommy Pham.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
just get behind our guys. Like, not like you said, he goes down 3 straight swings. It's fine. Boo him. I don't care.
Yeah. Bucko Mike says Ozuna hit 300 in April last year, 277 in May. And then the hip injury came in and he struggled for a couple months. I understand that. He doesn't have to be notoriously a slow starter to just start slow this year. It's fine. He's starting slow this year. Kutch used to start slow every year. So
yeah,
not this bad, right? Some guys are just, he's definitely in a slump to start the year.
Yeah.
You never want to see that. Either way, I don't even want to get to the point where I'm defending the guy. I'm just saying, like, let's wait and see.
Yeah.
Maybe he is cooked at 35. We'll find out.
Yeah.
But, we're kind of there. Listen, I saw a comment in here I wanted to talk about here. It was Majinski going against the Cubs. Don't love that Majinski's starting against the Cubs. Dude, I'm in on Majinski, man. I think he's looking better each time out. And he's been doing a good job navigating through, and he had a tough inning it was the 4th inning, got out of it, limited damage. He's been good. He's so far number 6 in MLB in fielding independent pitching. So, what do we, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's on a leaderboard already with things. He's right behind Christopher Sanchez. You know what I mean? He's above Brian Wu, who's number 9 on that list. So I'm willing to ride this out with Majinski. He's really impressed me, and it's better than Urquidy being there. And Hunter Barco certainly had a good outing the other day, but like his first 2 outings of the year was, full of walks, and I'm not really sure about that either. So I do like Carmen Majinski right now in the rotation, and I think he actually could be a decent matchup for the Cubs. The Cubs haven't hit a ton yet, so maybe they just explode. They're a good offense, no matter what way you look at it. So, I'm willing to ride this out with Majinski for a little while and see how it goes, because I do like what I see from him right now. I think it's been a pleasant surprise for me so far.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better. I noticed the addition of the splitter's been big for him.
Big. We started the whole Ozuna thing by talking about the fact that he got that base hit, and then they put in Nick York to run.
Mm-hmm.
Nick York ends up getting around the base paths and scoring on the Jake Mangum error. And then he gets up in the big moment.
Yeah.
And really loving, not going to go into this, Jake, but loving ABS challenge system in that situation, man. In that situation, when they use their last challenge on a strike and won early in the game that they probably shouldn't have, they're out of challenges. So it becomes a strategy. Nick York would have been rung up.
Yeah.
They could have challenged that one and rung him up and gone to extra innings, and they didn't have a challenge left. It really shows, like, sometimes we're saying, like, Brian Reynolds today, 2nd inning challenged one, and I'm like, dude, you're going to get that taken away from you. He's missed 2 now.
Yeah,
you'd never think Reynolds is emotional about things, but like he's emotional at the plate about balls and strikes. They're gonna take that away from him. If it's not strike 3, you don't tap that hat. That was a 0-0 pitch. Yeah. Dude, go down 0-1. Don't challenge that. Now, luckily, it didn't matter for us. But I love that. So anyway, Nick York steps up, gets the big hit. And in that moment, Triolo's still on the roster. In that moment, Nick York is number 13 on the roster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's the last guy off the bench. Now, because of matchups, he doesn't have to be the last. But like you would think, when you're looking at that, last guy off the bench, and he's stepping up in a big way early on and earned another start the next day. I don't know if that was planned or not, but I like to believe it wasn't. Put a guy in after a game like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Ride the hot hand. I think he's 1 for 3 today. Go back to Gonzalez the next day. Do what you want to do there. But love to see it. This team is deep.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad with any of these guys in a lineup to start a game.
No.
Literally any of them.
No, I mean, you talk about last year, our quote unquote Sunday lineups or whatever. Maybe not as much last year, but the Derek Shelton Sunday lineups, like those lineups were not good. This year, you can throw a so-called Sunday lineup out, and I still feel good about it. Like it's just you're not throwing in the towel when you put our backups in right now, and it's just so much fun to see. It's so, what's the word I'm looking for? Refreshing to just have a ball club where 1 through 13 can give you a chance anytime.
Yeah, and you're almost there on the pitching staff side.
Yeah.
Now, I know Urquidy had 2 good innings here, but I don't feel great about the innings or when Urquidy's out there. I'm nervous when Montgomery's out there, but I love the stuff too. So there's that where it's like any day. I was a fan of Nicholas. I didn't like that trade. He's the same guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same thing. Like I want to see him on. If he's not, I'm frustrated, but otherwise I love it. It's certainly not anything like, Holderman coming in.
Yeah.
It's been interesting to see how they're using Santana at the end, going in the 8th inning a lot. I've been puzzled, but the results have spoken for themselves. So I can't really argue against it. It's working. So if it doesn't work one day and then I decide to say, I told you so, like that's just whatever, because it's been working. Right. So it's kind of hard to argue against. It's been really fun to watch, but it does seem like it's been a lot of using everybody, matchups, and there's been a lot of things. And Martin says Bart's the only one I don't feel good about. Yeah, I think right now that's fair too. Bart had a good season 2 years ago. I think he's going to get a little bit of time, but he's another guy where if we come into May, like middle of May is what I was kind of saying about Ozuna. If we come into that time and we're still seeing a lot of the same things from Ozuna and Bart in particular, Ozuna's got a better chance of sticking around. Yeah. He's signed a $10.5 million. Yeah. So, he's got a better chance there. And Joey Bart doesn't. And you got guys down in AAA right now, Flores and Andy Rodriguez. If they get hot, you could see a change right there.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, man, but I'm optimistic about what I've seen from Davis so far. It's obviously not been consistent at the plate, but the catching side of things has been fantastic. The throw out today was, we talked about the throw out against Ellie, and Ellie got a good jump. It was a good high fastball. The pop time was great, but you got a high fastball. That's the opportune time to throw somebody out. But the one today was not. It was a low pitch that he had to reach for, and the throw was even better. I think it was like 86.7 miles per hour throw coming out of a squat. I don't know what the normal thing is for a catcher, but that seems to me like it's very hard.
Yeah.
So it's not like an outfielder with a crow hop.
Right. Ward coming up to him his next at bat, and like I don't know what he said to him, but it had to be something like, dude, you got a hose.
Sure.
Something. But they had a little thing his next time he came up to bat.
Yeah. I don't know. I've liked what I've seen. O'Hearn made a couple nice plays on defense too.
And a laugher though. That one that skipped by him was a pretty bad.
Well, he's
Pretty bad
sliding
play.
for it, right? I think the only reason that he slides for that in that moment maybe is because there wasn't a hit yet.
But because Taylor Ward was on base first at bat of the game. Got
Not a hit.
Yeah, you got a single to left field, past diving York. Because York dove for it, got past.
Ashcraft they didn't get a hit till the third inning, till that one.
No,
Taylor Ward struck out in the first inning. I'm looking at the wrong game. I'm looking at the wrong game. Hang on. Yeah, he singled. What was that about? What are they talking about?
I don't know.
Greg Brown's been saying some things. He's been saying some things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But still, like, that's a ball. That there you should probably just let fall. And
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He was being aggressive and it kicked away. And Taylor Ward probably could have had a triple on it.
Yeah.
Really, if he was running the whole time, but he probably was just jogging because he got a base hit.
Yeah.
Took second and that's it. I don't know. Yeah,
but it's fine.
Miles, Miles says Hearn maybe used to having a center fielder on his butt and thought he had backup.
That's funny.
That is funny. Yeah. Okay, there it is. Martin, thank you, man. I could have swore he said it, and I was, we were doing the thing. So, Martin, Greg Brown got it wrong. He corrected it, though. He did say broke up the no-hitter. I thought so. And so, like, when I was thinking about the play, I was remembering the call, and I was like, yeah, but,
yeah,
all right, we're good. We got this thing. We got this thing. We're fine. Where are we at here? Okay, we hit our hour. So, did we have anything else that we didn't bring up? What an exciting weekend.
Yeah.
And really weak. You know what I mean? They've done a good job. Now they've got San Diego coming in. It's Bubba Chandler, Herman Marquez going Monday. Paul Skeens, Nick Pivetta. That's a good one on Tuesday. Two guys with elevated ERAs that are good pitchers.
Yeah.
And then Mitch Keller, Michael King on Wednesday. That's a really good game. And then a day off before they go to Chicago. Series win. You got to do it, right? You have to win Monday. I think that's your matchup that you would like to see. Like, you want to win this one. Bubba Chandler hasn't given up a hit yet this year. So, right? Because it's just his second start. Hasn't given up a hit yet in 6 innings so far. So there you go. And then Paul Skeens. You want to win every Paul Skeens game.
Yeah.
So then Mitch Keller
Especially if he's going to get 20 wins.
Which is your, I don't care, but you do because you put a thing on it. I want the team to win 25 when he's pitching.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. And then Mitch Keller will either make up for somebody's loss or go for a sweep. Like, that's how you feel about this team right now. That's the confidence level that you have going into this series right now.
Yeah.
Bucko Mike says 4-0 watching the Pirates from the hospital bed. You didn't bring. What's this? You didn't bring Josh. I'm 2-0 at the field. I'll say that right now. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And the whole 9 yards, dude, the whole Pittsburgh experience for me. We got Uncle Sam's going into town. We got. There we go. He's saying, bring it up. I got you. We brought it up. Bucko Mike 4-0 watching the Pirates. There you go. And also, hope you're doing well. Hope you're getting better and getting well.
Yeah.
Been praying for you. Uncle Sam's on the way into town. Giovanni's after the game both days. And yes, we drove all the way there and back because we had friends, and then all the way there and back again. Last night we got home. I think it was like 10 after, 1:15. We're dead tired from 2 days, like 2 long days like that. You know what I'm saying? Just so tired getting home that late, but all worth it. I don't regret it. All worth it. It was fantastic.
I know we talked about doing those little shorts after the game, and I looked at Ashley and said, maybe I should do a couple of these this week because he's going to be dead.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was great because like I actually haven't been doing them a lot, but like that's been great. I appreciated that. Ron Eichel coming in again. Ron, I can't share that one, all right? Let's clean it up a little bit. He said the Pirates are good. I feel like you've been coming in late to all these things, Ron.
Yeah.
You need to get some some root beer stocked up and
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna have to get some good root beer when I come up the 18th.
Yeah, you are. Absolutely. Yeah. What we thought was going to be a difficult start to the season has turned into a very great start on the season, right? And that's baseball, man. You keep going. You have to let these things play out. You can't be reactive after. Well, you can be. Again, hear me out. You absolutely can be reactive after one game, but let some things play out. We're still very young at this point. And so we need to get going. Bucko Mike with the 5150 comment again. I love it. Let these things get going. Have some fun while it's all here. We have a new Zoltan in town with the cones, right? Hoist the cone and all that fun stuff. That's the new Zoltan. We finally have like an absolute baller home run celebration with the welder's hood. It's fantastic. They're having fun. They're riding this thing. You hope they turn it into a long streak, because if you can do something like this at the beginning of the year, then absolutely you can create some gap. We were talking about that before, like the Brewers creating a gap at the top of the division already. The Cubs kind of falling behind. Like if the Pirates go into Chicago and take 2 out of 3, depending on what happens this week for Chicago, they're already starting to think about like, man, we've got to gain ground. And all of a sudden, your divisional series has become even more and more important.
Yeah.
You've got to come up with some sweeps. You've got, you know what I'm saying? Like you start to press already early in the season. We talk about the fact that there's 162 games and you have plenty of time to come back from things. And that is true if you're down. It's a great point, Martin. Martin says this feels different than the 20-8 start a couple years ago. Jake and I kind of went through April, and if they continue to win series with maybe a series or a split, or we got 2 4-game series with a split, and then maybe losing one of the road series or something, like you have the potential to come out of this thing at like 19-13 or something like that. And I think you'd feel pretty good about that. That's no more sweeps too, because you don't project that. If you get a sweep, all of a sudden bonus, right? And you start to look pretty good to start the season. And anytime that you can run a little bit at the beginning, it's going to make up, because you're going to have a skid. You're going to have a rough patch at some point this season, maybe 2 of them. You know what I mean? And what made the Brewers win 97 games last year? How many 10-game winning? Like, did they have like 3 10-game winning streaks last year or something like that? Like, it was ridiculous. Crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. At one point they were, I don't know, some of those numbers were just outrageous. The run that they went on last year in order to get to 97 wins. And like a team like the Pirates, if they go on runs like that, that's how they're going to get to those ceiling numbers. You know what I mean? I mean, I said 84, but like if they go on a couple runs of 7, 8, 9, 10 wins, you know what I mean? And they do that a few times in the season, you start to push in those upper 80s, and you are playing for a division at that point.
Mm-hmm. And it's nice if we can get one of them out of the way early. Like, let's go on a skid rate, or let's go on a run right now.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah. And the starting pitching is putting you in position to do that right away. There's going to be a stinker. We had one the very first game of the year. There's going to be another one at some point. How do you bounce back from that? So far, they've been doing a good job.
Yep.
Very early. But you take advantage of these exciting times every single time. Like 100%. We said, this offense hasn't really gotten hot yet.
Yeah.
If they start to cool down and another guy jumps up, they're going to continue to do what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it.
You really do. Ron, I'm working on it, buddy. I'm working on it.
Yeah, right here. Ron says, I'd love a 10-game winning streak to start the season. I mean, they're 5 in right now. They'd have to sweep the Padres here and then go to Chicago and see what they can do.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, that's all we have for tonight. Thanks again for listening. Thanks again for tuning in on the live show. We always appreciate the live chat around here. You guys are awesome. And let's go get a series win.
Yeah. Let's go, guys.
Let's go, Bucs.
Let's go, Bucs.
Thanks for listening to my dad and Uncle Jake on the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bridge2Buctober. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when new episodes are released. Clear the deck, cannonball coming, and let's go Bucs.